everyday look where? This is giving glam. Oh my gosh, we gonna roll with it. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. And to all of my new viewers, supporters, subscribers, welcome guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed the content. And to all of my returning viewers, supporters, subscribers, welcome back guys as well. Thank you for your support. It's always a pleasure to see you. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Happy New Year, still in order. We are only in the first week of the new year. How long do you guys extend your New Year's greeting out? In a professional setting, and I'm just applying Naturium lip balm. In a professional setting, especially since I am a client-facing customer service banking professional, like personally, the first week, after the first week, like all of the excitement of, oh my goodness, we're in a new year, kind of tends to dwindle down so we can kind of ixnay the Happy New Year, just saying. Do you guys remember that joke? And I know I'm telling my age with this, but there used to be like a long-standing joke, and some people got it, others not so much. But when the new year approached, people that you knew or whatever, or even people you didn't know, preferably people you did know, when you used to see them, they would say things like, oh wow, well I haven't seen you since last year, or I haven't seen you in a year. And it was kind of corny, but I got it. Like, I saw you last in that year, and even if it's a day apart, now I'm seeing you in the new year. Again, it's corny. So I'm going to prime my face using Fenty Beauty's Pro Filt'R Mattifying Face Primer. Now the look that we're going to do today, this is my everyday makeup look. Contrary to popular belief, I am a fan of makeup, but I don't always like wearing it. And if I'm not filming, or honestly, if I can find a way to get out of wearing makeup, most days I will not wear makeup. I think this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about skincare, because if my skincare is looking great, then I don't always feel the need to have to, I want to say, mask some of my imperfections. You know, I can just make sure that my brows are done, put on a little lip balm, moisturizer, sunscreen, and go on about my life. Speaking of which, brows. They are the window to the soul. I have looked at some of my like older footage, and I'm like, seriously, was I really in this world with my brows looking how they were looking? And guess what? Yes, I was. But when you know better, you tend to learn to do better. So yeah, I remember my youngest son. At the time, he honestly could not have been any older than maybe 6. At the time, I was a stay-at-home mom. Shout out to all of the stay-at-home moms working hard, because it is a job. I was getting ready to take him to school, and I was in the bathroom doing my makeup, or at least I thought I was doing my makeup, and I just knew I was doing a great job. So my son walks in, and mind you, he's no older than 6 or 7 at the time, and I'm like, get out of the bathroom, get out of the bathroom. And he looks at my brows and he goes, are you gonna wear your eyes like that outside? And I'm like, yes, why? Like, you don't know anything about this. And he goes, I don't, but they're not asymmetrical. And I'm looking at him like, did you really just say that? Like, for real? So this is where me and your dad's money is going, to put you in these good schools for you to just clown me at home. But when I like really looked at it, I'm like, oh crap, he's right. If a 6-7-year-old was able to clock the fact that my eyebrows were off, I'm like, at some point I gotta get it together. So even if I don't wear makeup, I owe it to myself when I go outside to at least do my eyebrows. And I keep putting it off. I keep redoing my appointment to get my brows done, or other things keep coming up. But this month, it is a must. I have to have them done. I have to get them done. But moving ahead. So we have the primer on, and I put some color corrector by Fenty Beauty on. This is in the shade Pumpkin. This is a match stick. And then for my actual base, my foundation, this is HourGlass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. I really love this because it gives me the coverage that I need. It's blendable, it's breathable. Absolutely love it. The shade that I wear is 15. So that's my shade for us 420 Fenty girls, shade 15 in HourGlass Veil Skin Tint. And the brush I will be applying it with is a NYX Cosmetics Flawless Complexion brush in number 132. And then for concealers, I will be using two. I will be using them with a lighter hand, but we still will use two. The first is by Makeup Forever. This is a Ultra HD concealer. The shade for this one is 51. And again, using a lighter hand. Still want to capture that light effect, hitting those certain highlighted areas, but we're just using a lighter hand this time. So the second concealer, this is by Nars. This is a soft matte complete concealer in the shade Chocolate. I'm going to take the opposite end of my NYX Cosmetics Flawless foundation brush. There's a little end here, and I'm just going to then apply that here. Now this concealer I love, and the reason I do is because it gives you soft coverage. This one I like to get in my exact skin tone since it is available, because this one just kind of hides some of the tiredness and the dark under eye circles and not give the drama of the highlighted looking concealer. So this one just masks. That's all it does for me, and that's all I needed to do. Okay, so now that the concealers are kind of drying down, we're not going to allow it to stay on that long because it's such a small amount, but I am going to move on to my brows. I'm going to attempt to do one on camera. I don't have contacts in, so this should be interesting, but I am going to use the Denessa Myricks Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette for my brow application, and I will be applying it using a Morphe M165 brush. So the shade that I'm going to use is Bark. I'm going to use the pomade for that particular shade. I used to use, like when I first started doing my brows on my own, I used to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade, and that was groundbreaking, no pun intended. I absolutely loved using the pomade. It gave me the ability to have wiggle room as opposed to using a pencil, at least while I was learning. You know, I felt like I had more control using the pomade, and then I stopped after I really learned how to navigate a pencil, but now I'm over all of it. I'm over all of it. Normally, I'm like this close to the mirror when I'm doing my brows, just because I sit in front of a computer so long throughout the day that my eyes, you know, they're not as sharp as they used to be. So yeah, I'm over it. And that's whether pomade or pencil, which is why I am excited to actually have them microbladed. This way it'll be so much easier to just get up, fill them in, and move about your day, as opposed to trying to shape them and make sure they're symmetrical and all of that jazz. Let's see. I just feel like neat brows are everything. It properly frames and shapes the face. It gives the face more definition. It looks like the effort was really made to properly apply your makeup. And if you have a good set of brows, you really don't even have to do much in the way of makeup, because again, the brows kind of frame the face and give it character, whereas, you know, it doesn't if they're just not properly shaped, at least in my opinion. And now I'm going to take a damp beauty sponge and just blot in the concealer. And I'm also applying the concealer that is left over to my eye area. We're not going to do like full on eye makeup, not like a full glam look, but this would reduce the amount of time that it takes for you to then prep your lid for your eyeshadow, is to just take and move around some of the concealer from your under eye area to your actual lid space. Lid, crease, entire eye area. I swear that skin tint is divine. It really is. Like, it's literally a skin tint. I can still see my moles in my face. You know, it gives you just enough coverage to say, hey, I have on makeup. But if you're not that big on foundation, that skin tint is definitely the way to go, because it provides just enough coverage for you to then be able to build on it. And like I said, it's also breathable, which is very, very nice. And for my setting powder, I'm going to apply Givenchy Prisme Libre, a loose setting powder. This one is in shade 6. It's a 4-in-1. This is what it looks like, if you guys have not yet seen it. So I'm going to apply using the same damp beauty sponge. I think this powder is really nice because it's 4-in-1. you kind of have a color corrector, you have a brightening powder, you have a shade that is like close to your complexion, and then what appears to be something, at least to me, similar to that of the cherry blossom shade. And when you combine them all together, then you get like this flawless, beautifully curated shade of loose powder, and I love it. Oh, I do. I need to use it more on camera. I use it behind the scenes. There are those little tidbits of product that you just kind of keep for yourself as opposed to using them on camera. But this one, I think I'm going to bring it out more often and share it with you guys since I love it so much. And this is Juvia's Place Pressed Powder in Burkina. I'm going to use the same loose powder brush, and I'm just going to set my entire face very lightly. Now for my everyday face, I don't really put up that much of a fuss to go super matte. And then I'm just going to take a little Jacklyn Cosmetics bronzer in Vacation, applying it using my pointed bronzer brush. And for blush, I will be using L'Oreal's Infallible 24-Hour Wear Blush in the shade Flawless, or excuse me, Fearless Coral. Just a light hand, not too much. And moving on to our eyes, I will be using the Norvina Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. And the first shade I'm going to use is going to be Eccentric, which is this matte shade here. Oh, talk about nostalgia. Remember when the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes used to come with a brush? Not anymore. So I'm going to use Eccentric, very light hand, using my Morphe M504 brush. And since we applied the concealer when we blended out the concealer under our eye area, there was no need to prep the eye area unless you have very oily lids and you just want the extra coverage. By all means, I would say go for it. If not, we've already prepped. And even for me, like, there's still a bit of oil there, but these shadows should pick up the oil, so I'm not too concerned about it. Okay, so we have now the Eccentric down. Now I'm going to take this shade here, Vital, and a little bit of Soul, and mix these two together, still using my same brush. And just start sweeping across, and that's from the lid almost up to the brow bone. I'm going to do the same to this eye here using Vital and Soul. And now what I'm doing, I've wiped my brush off and I'm just diffusing the outer perimeter of where I applied the shadows so that it has more of a gradient look as opposed to looking so concentrated in that one area. And now I'm going to take a Color Shock eyeshadow topper by ColourPop in the shade Ritz. And now I'm going to apply it using my finger very lightly over my shadows. Now, if you don't have Ritz, you can also use, which is normally always out of stock. This is such a very popular shade. It's by Urban Decay. It is Space Cowboy. If you can find that, I do believe this is like the affordable dupe to Urban Decay Space Cowboy. I love this as a topper. I feel like it gives a bit of glam. It's a very subtle glam depending on how much you apply, but it can definitely help with your eye look. And now I'm going to move on to my under eye area, just applying just a regular black liner. This is by HourGlass. And just applying that to give some definition to the under eye area. And moving on to lip, I'm going to apply a lip liner by NYX Cosmetics in the shade Espresso. And then on top of that, I will be applying by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a liquid matte lipstick in the shade named Veronica. All right, guys, so this is the final look. What was supposed to be a everyday look turned into an every evening look. Wing liner and the big lashes are giving evening. So if you kind of remove those two factors, then you're pretty much good to go. You just apply a little bit of mascara and you are out the door. This is sometimes what happens even when I do my makeup in real life. When I do my makeup not in front of the camera, I will have one look in my head and I'm thinking I'm about to execute it. Next thing I know, I'm like, this is full on glam just to go to Trader Joe's. Make it make sense. To me, makeup has no rules. You do what you do. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for watching this tutorial. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. As always, in the comment box below, there will be a list of all of the products that was used to achieve this look. Guys, be well, stay safe, exercise, self-care. It is not a privilege, but a necessity. Check on your strong friends after you check in with yourself. And until next time, we shall chat again soon.